What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So I have a quick video to talk about today. Now, I posted a video yesterday. I was talking about a few different things, but one of the things I talked about was this $40 billion that will be going to Ukraine. Okay, it was passed yesterday, and I wanted to follow up on that video because I got a lot of people in the comments that responded to that video, and a lot of people were very, very upset the fact that we're spending or we're sending $40 billion to another country. Now, I want to put this in a different perspective. I'm going to show you guys I'm going to put two articles up side by side, and we're going to talk about both articles, and you guys will see what I'm talking about in a few minutes. But it's pretty ridiculous what politicians are doing, okay? And we're in a country where we have representation. We vote these people into office. They are there to represent the American people. And when I see things like this, it really, really upsets me because this is a situation where, of course, we need to help other countries. And I'm all for that, okay? $40 billion, that's a lot of money to send to another country. And we've been doing this, and we continue to do this. I mean, a lot of this stuff happens and we don't even know about it. We're sending money to different countries and we have no idea that this money is going to other countries. And then we wonder why we're in a deficit. Then we wonder why we're looking at situations where we deficit spend. Okay, and I say we. I'm talking about the politicians' deficit spend. Because let's be clear, they are the ones that are putting us in debt. Okay, they always point the finger to all these different areas, but it's the politicians that are spending the money. We are providing the money through our taxes, and they are spending the money. And so I just want to show you these two articles. You guys will understand what I'm saying in a second. But first off, on this channel, we talk about retirement, we talk about Social Security, and we talk about personal finance. If that sounds like something interesting to you, please subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell notification. That way you get notified anytime we put out a video. And like always, if you see my name and a picture of me in the comment section, make sure you see a check mark next to my name. That check mark signifies that it's me. If you do not see that check mark, it's not me. It's someone trying to impersonate me. Okay, so the first thing I want to say is welcome and thank you for all the new subscribers. I've been receiving a lot of new subscribers, and I really, really appreciate that. I know Walter over at Walter Wayburn, his channel, he's been sending me a lot of subscribers, so I appreciate that. Thank you very much. If you guys have not gone to his channel, go over to his channel. I'll have a link in the comment section, so you can go over to his channel and check out his channel and subscribe to his channel as well. But thank you guys all for joining the family. Now, I want to talk a little bit about this. Now, this is, let me pull up my first little slide here, and we're going to look at these two different articles. Okay, so we know what happened yesterday. Now, this article, we're talking about the House. Okay, we're not going to be talking about the Senate day. We're going to be talking about the House. And so on May 10th, the House passed the $40 billion Ukraine aid. Okay, so that's what happened first. The House passed it. They tried to pass it in the Senate, but they were unsuccessful the first time. And so what they did is they went back, and then they were able to pass it just yesterday in the Senate. Okay, so what I want to focus on is the numbers here. Okay, so when it passed the House, this is what it passed. It passed 368 to 57. Okay, the 57, they were Republicans, and the reason that I'm saying this is because you'll understand in the future when I show you the other article or the next article. You'll understand what I'm saying here. So 57 Republicans were in opposition. Okay, now the reason why this is important is because when I posted that video yesterday, a lot of people were very, very upset. Why are we sending money to Ukraine? Why are we sending $40 billion to Ukraine? Okay, now what I want to do is I want to show you something that just happened yesterday. All right, and this was upsetting to a lot of people. Now, this is the House again. All right, nearly 200 Republicans voted against a bill to ease the baby formula shortage. And you had a lot of these politicians, the same politicians that voted against this, they were out there talking about this is a big problem. This is a huge problem. This baby formula shortage. Now, if you don't know what's going on, is you have, I think, like two major manufacturers when it comes to baby formula, and right now there's a shortage, and that is causing people to hoard hoard the baby formula, right? Because they're in fear of not having it. And so when you go into a grocery store, there's no baby formula. And so what they're trying to do is they're trying to figure out a way to remedy this. All right. Now, the important thing for us to notice here is the vote count. So the vote count, and I thought I saw it on here. Let's go back. So we know that 192 Republicans voted against it. I just wanted to get the overall. Here's the overall here. 231 to 192. Now, the good news when it came to this baby formula is they were able to pass it. Okay, so it passed with 231 votes, but you still had 192 Republicans or 192 politicians that voted against it. So the numbers that I want to focus on here is the 192 here. And then I also want to go back and look at this other article. And this is the article, the Ukraine. Okay, this is the situation with Ukraine. 40 billion. We're talking $40 billion, right? And then we're looking at 57 politicians voted against that. Okay, just 57. But here, something that we need in this country, you had 192 that voted against it. Okay, so I'm just trying to put this in perspective for you. Now, when we're talking about the money, and that's the reason why these politicians said, these 192 politicians said, they don't need the money, and this is money that was going to help with this whole situation, the baby formula. Now, I will say there was another bill. There's an additional bill that they voted on. This is a separate bill. This was overwhelmingly bipartisan, so that's good. And this is more money for the WIC program to provide this baby formula. But what I really wanted to bring your attention to is the fact that you have 192 politicians that are against something to help the American people. And when you look at the amount, this is the amount here, $28 million. Okay, that money would have gone to the Food and Drug Administration. The reason why these politicians were in opposition to this bill was because of the $28 million. Okay, so you have 192 politicians in opposition of $28 million going to the Food and Drug Administration to help with this baby formula situation, to help babies, basically, that look at it that way. And when you look at the situation in Ukraine, going back to Ukraine, $40 billion. $40 billion. And in the House, you only had 57 in opposition of that. The vast majority of politicians were okay with sending $40 billion to Ukraine. But when you look at the U.S. and you look at a situation that we're going through right now, among all the other situations with inflation and just everything else that's going on, $28 million is what we're talking about. $28 million going to the Food and Drug Administration, and they have an issue with that. It's just amazing. And when I saw this, I was just like, this can't be real, but it's real. And so, I mean, we really have to focus on what politicians are doing. We really do, because we can't let politicians just get away with stuff like this. When it comes down to it, I don't have a problem with sending money to other countries. I don't have a problem with the Ukraine situation, sending money to Ukraine. That is not my major gripe. My major gripe is that when it comes to sending money to Ukraine, they find a way to do it, and they find a way to do it fast. But when it comes to the American people, it's, oh, we need to wait. We need to pause. We need to see if this works. I mean, we went through all of this stuff in the last 2 years when it came to pandemic relief. It just seems ridiculous now to look at a situation where you have a country at war and we're sending billions after billions after billions of dollars to that country. And then when we have a situation here, the baby formula shortage, $28 million, you have politicians saying, whoop, that's too much money. We shouldn't be sending that money to the Food and Drug Administration, to our own government, in order to help when it comes to baby formula. It is amazing. Now, I understand bills are different, and you might have different reasons for voting against one bill and voting for another bill. I totally understand that. But when we hear the major concern that these politicians have, and they've voiced their opinion when it came to this, Their opposition was because of the $28 million. That was their opposition. And so when we start looking at situations like this, we just need, I mean, we have a midterm coming. Okay, and I will do my best to try to inform you when it comes to the different politicians who are running for re-election, and I'll also give you information on some of the new politicians that are running for office for the first time, or you know, running for that office for the first time, because it's very important that we hold these politicians accountable. So you want to send money to another country, $40 billion, but when it comes to $28 million to go to the Food and Drug Administration, you have an issue with that. It's the money. It's too much money to be sending there, but you're going to send $40 billion. And so I just wanted to put this short little video together just to show you kind of the difference. What is going on? What is going on? So if you want to send money to other countries, that's okay. But when it comes to the U.S., you have these politicians, they have a problem with it. They have a serious problem with it. And it's almost, and you know, you hate to say this, but when it comes to this baby formula situation, some politicians want it to get worse. And they're voting against things because they want it to get worse. That way they can say, look, this is just horrible. We need a new administration. We need change. That is their angle. And so it's no longer to help the American people. It's no longer to help these babies that are going to need this formula. We're looking at a situation where these politicians want the country to get worse. They could care less about sending $40 billion over to Ukraine, because that really doesn't affect us in the way that if they vote no on something like this, something like baby formula, we're going to feel that impact. And if we feel that impact, then we're going to go to the polls and we're going to show how angry we are, or show our disagreement by voting against whoever's in office. And that is their game. That's their game plan. That is their goal. And it's sad because the people that these politicians are representing, those are the people that are getting hurt. They're getting hurt because these politicians want to vote against something so simple as, let's try to find ways to get more formula in the U.S. so we won't have this shortage that we have right now. So I want to know what you guys think about this. So let me know down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.